It's the 2K Sports pregame show.
Welcome to the NBA on 2K Sports. I'm Ernie Johnson. Kenny the Jet Smith is here. Say hello to the folks.
Hey, hello to the folks.
Hey, Shaquille O'Neal is here. Say hey to the folks.
Hey, what up, folks?
The NBA's really rolling along at this point. In this game, we'll see the Utah Jazz against the New Orleans Pelicans. Well, for the Pelicans, they found wins pretty hard to come by this season, but a game like tonight could be a great opportunity to pick up a much-needed win and boost their confidence. Look at the numbers DeMarcus Cousins has put up the last few seasons. Just astounding. The scoring, the rebounding. How about the defense?
Well, I think he's still one of the best true big men who plays inside the paint and as a three-pointer, but does most of his damage inside like big guys are supposed to do.
Well, you know what? You can't deal with his size and strength. That's the one thing. There's very few guys can do that. Emotionally, if he stays on course, he could be one of the greats that ever played this game. You don't believe that?
What happened?
Okay.
Time for tip-off. We send it to Kevin Harlan for the call.
Welcome, folks. Thanks for tuning in to 2K Sports for the latest presentation of our NBA basketball. This is Kevin Harlan, and by my side are analysts Greg Anthony and Doris Burke. From the sideline, we'll have the Hall of Famer David Aldridge. We'll be hearing from him in just a bit. We're glad you can join us. We're at the home of the Jazz here in Salt Lake City, Utah. And, of course, Jameer Nelson. Team moving on here without him.
What the trade means to me, guys, is they think some of their young players are ready to take on more responsibility, and they're going to be more minutes for guys that weren't seeing a whole lot of them before.
Now let's get a quick pregame update from David Aldridge, who had a chance to talk with head coach Quinn Snyder.
Well, guys, he told me that today is all about setting the tone for the rest of the season series with this team. He said they're going to be a tough opponent for us every time we see them, and we've got to let them know right now, today, that we're going to be just as tough for them. We'll find out, indeed, if they can set the right tone, Kevin.
Thank you, David. And bucking the fast-paced trend, both teams tonight like to score out of their half-court sets. Doris, what are some of the keys to being successful with that approach?
Well, there's a few things, Kev. You've got to have great floor spacing. The ball has got to move, and players have got to move. It's got to be an equal opportunity offense.
Tip-off goes to New Orleans. And the starting lineup for the Pelicans, the star big men pair of Davis and Cousins are up front. Rajon Rondo is out there with Holiday, and it's Mirotic in at the 3 spot.
He's only listed at 6'4", but Holiday plays bigger than that. That's the case on D more than anywhere else. He can guard 3 positions, and there's a lot of value in that.
First trip to the line for him here. Free throw good from Drew Holiday.
And when you look at the Pelicans, you got to expect for them to be one of the top defensive teams in the league. You've got the Twin Towers down low, and Drew Holiday is in the top handful, I think, of defensive point guards in the league.
Both free throws good from Drew Holiday. And Drew Holiday at 6'4", great size for the point guard position.
And his height enables him to cover shooting guards. At the same time, he does a great job of keeping smaller players in front of him.
Now here's Gobert. They really needed more from him in that loss to the Clippers. Here's Mitchell. Anthony Davis with the rebound. Utah's on defense. Last game matched up with the Clippers. A tough loss there.
And guys, a loss like that, that's one when you just got to put it behind you as quickly as possible.
It's a barometer, though. You know where you need to improve and by how much to win these kinds of games.
Utah with the ball. Rubio outside. And Gobert kicks to Rubio. 5 to shoot over Rondo. Rondo with some nice D.
Well, it's not the defense that caused that miss. That one's all on him.
Here's Mirotic. Utah with the rebound and going against New Orleans, their first meeting of the year.
And they were unbeaten against this club last season. Not surprising considering where they both finished in the standings.
Well, they're more talented, more accomplished at this point, but you can't rely on that and start taking plays off. You could get surprised.
And here are the Pelicans now after the basket by Utah. Outside for Davis. Here's Rondo. And again, New Orleans has no up.
Boy, that's 0 for 3 in the early going. Just a little out of sync.
Mitchell. It's good. Only a few seconds into the shot clock. Now about 2 minutes gone here in the first quarter. Outside Holiday. They set the screen. Inside. Here's Mirotic. Here's Cousins. And then Cousins with the dunk.
Just tremendously physical. Cousins not afraid to rearrange some furniture in there.
Gobert with a screen on Rondo. Rubio dishes to Gobert. Back to Rubio. Gobert with a screen for Rubio. A second chance effort and fouled on the shot, so the bucket counts and a chance for one more here.
Boy, the length of Rudy Gobert is awe-inspiring. This guy's so good on the offensive backboards.
The Jazz shooting their first free throw of the game right now.
Mind the lanes. Mind the lanes. One shot.
And the free throw, no good.
And you look back early in his career, Rudy Gobert, he kind of clogged things up just as much at the offensive end as he did defensively. And I tell you what, though, he's made significant strides, becoming much less of a liability on offense.
Now here is Holiday. He's tightly guarded.
This has been absolutely brutal. Missed every shot this quarter. He needs to keep his head up and keep working.
Mitchell passes to Favors. Favors with the screen. Hood kicks to Mitchell. Favors with a screen on Davis. Here's Mitchell. Great use of the pick to create room for the jumper. Mitchell's got 6 points. And Gobert last season with career highs in field goal percentage and free throw percentage.
And he averaged double figures for the first time in his career. If you ask me, he'll be a walking double-double in this league for a long time.
Holiday gets the bucket. First quarter of play and just over 3.5 minutes in. And Rubio kicks to Mitchell. Back to Rubio. There's the screen. Outside Favors. And stolen by Cousins. Inside. Here's Davis. Lays it up off the glass. Davis has got his first 2 points.
If there's a list of the best inside scorers in the NBA, Davis has got to be right at the top. When he gets his hands on the ball down low, you might as well just count it.
Gobert the screen. Gobert with a screen on Holiday. Shot clock at 5. Here's Mitchell. Gobert. DeMarcus Cousins comes up with the rebound. The Pelicans have gotten just 3 of their first 9 shots to go down in this game. Rondo kicks to Davis. Some nice passing here by New Orleans. Here's Cousins. And unable there to get the go-ahead bucket.
Boy, not enough spring in his step on the way to the cup. He actually short arms that layup.
And Gobert kicks to Mitchell. Passes it to Favors. And Davis sends it back.
He's got that huge wingspan, and boy, does he use it well on the defensive end. If Davis is within shouting distance of the shooter, there's a good chance he'll get a hand on it.
Well, a few things have become clear with Rondo in the past few seasons. One, Greg, he needs to be happy with his situation in order to be productive. And two, he can give you big numbers at times, but he isn't the player he once was on that Celtic team.
Yeah, and Rondo, he's such a hard-headed guy and has his own way of approaching things. If you clash with him, everything goes up in flames with his game. He needs to be on the same page with his coach, and he's running out of coaches who will put up with it.
And they now lead as the free throw drops for him.
And there's no denying that Rondo is a wizard with the ball, exceptional at exploiting holes in the defense.
And the Jazz making a change here. Johnson's checked in. And that's good as he hits both of his shots. And the Pelicans at last season's trade deadline making the big deal for DeMarcus Cousins.
You know, you look at Anthony Davis being paired with Cousins, and certainly on paper you could make the argument that they've got the best 1-2 punch on the front line in the league. Two Kentucky guys, great size and offensive skill in terms of their versatility. If they can surround them with shooters and some perimeter defense, I think this group could be scary.
You love how Joe Johnson goes straight up with that shot. He doesn't hesitate for a second.
Rondo dishes to Holiday. And it's good, coming on the assist by Rajon Rondo. 7 points for Drew Holiday.
From the opening tip, he's been active and working for good looks. He's been pretty accurate.
Johnson, the pass to Mitchell. Favors with a screen on Holiday. Here's Mitchell. That one, no good. Now New Orleans will take it the other way. They're coming off that win against Minnesota.
And I was impressed with how comfortable they looked in that environment, made the most of their possessions.
They were extremely efficient, Greg. They ran their offense well and took good high percentage shots.
Jazz have gone 5 of 12 from the field since the opening tip. Puts it up from 7, and the rejection by Cousins.
When he puts everything he has into his defense, Cousins can be a force. Big, strong, and smart. Of course, he's going to block his share of shots when he's committed.
Jazz trail by 4. Johnson with it. He had a 15-point outing in their last game against the Clippers. Another miss by Johnson. Here's New Orleans. They're on an 11-3 run. Here's Mirotic. And the ball goes out of bounds. Last touch by Cousins. Just a moment to look back at how things were last season for this team as we look at the shot breakdown for the Jazz.
And they really based almost their entire offense around the three-point shot. Spread the floor, space the defense, and if the deep shots aren't falling, at least it should open things up inside.
Utah's gone 1 of 2 from long range in the first quarter. Rubio against Holiday, and Rubio kicks to Gobert. Down low. Mitchell's shot is good. Mitchell's got 8 points.
And he is really in a zone right now, playing and scoring with confidence.
And first time out of the game called for New Orleans. Doris, what an honor. Inducted into your college's Hall of Fame, something not many of us can say. What does that kind of honor due for the confidence for you personally going forward?
You know what? Providence College is a place that means a great deal to me. So what that Hall of Fame induction did was just remind me of all the special memories that I shared with my teammates. I'm close with many of them today. And Kevin, you know this. You know, if you've ever been inside a locker room, it's those moments when you're laughing until your stomach hurts. I'd say we were the Hall of Fame fun team. That's what I'd say.
I think we're on the fun team here on 2K. And the basket by Liggins. Jazz trail by 4. Now here's Exum. Looking at his numbers, he's averaging about 6.5 points a game. And the basket by Liggins. Liggins has got his second basket of the night.
Well executed, and then you love the strong finish.
Yes, you love that they're not settling for anything outside the paint. Excellent work getting right to the tin.
Now here's Burks. He's playing a pretty big role for him at the offensive end, averaging about 12.5 points a game.
Just doing the job on the backboard.
And so it's New Orleans with it. Udoh missing his last shot. Clark kicks to Liggins. Ajinça in the post. Udoh's there. And a good time here to go over our 2K leaderboard and see which point guards have had the hottest hand at the free throw line over the last 10 games. Second, Dante Exum.
Well, he's the guy you want on the free throw line when it matters. I mean, he's a leader and as consistent as they get.
That free throw, no good.
And guys, it was just announced last season that the Jazz had transferred the team's ownership to a legacy trust intended to keep the team in Utah for generations to come. Apparently, the move is a first of its kind in major North American pro sports.
Good on the second free throw. Greg, you look at the Jazz, that legacy trust means that all profits are reinvested right back into the team.
I mean, a tremendous move, recognizing that the team belongs to Utah and the people of Salt Lake City. This is truly a community asset.
Now, here's Exum. He hasn't scored yet. That, I'm sure, will change. An easy layup after coming off the pick.
Well, if you've got speed, use it. Dante Exum carves up the defense on the way to the cup.
Here's Clark. Taking a look at his stats, he's averaging around 9.5 points a game. Stolen by Exum. Out of bounds. New Orleans will take possession. Now we get a chance to check out the standings out west. Already we're in December. Taking a look at New Orleans. They've had a very slow start to the season so far. Down in the bottom half of the conference. And of course Utah. They're just sitting one spot down right on their heels.
And I think for the Jazz, it's been a disastrous start to the season for them. They can't buy a win.
Yeah, they can't really afford to slip any farther down in the standings because, let's face it, they don't have the firepower to dig themselves out of too deep a hole once they're in it.
And Utah has possession. And the Pelicans picked up 3 with their last shot.
Well, how about the outstanding vision from the crafty point guard, Dante Exum, seeing the floor beautifully.
And Liggins kicks to Ajinça. Feeds to Clark. To the paint. The dish to Liggins. 6 to shoot. Diallo. But he gets it back. And that's a foul called an Alexis Ajinça. That is his first foul of the game. And here's Exum. 1:57 left to play in the first quarter. Nice ball movement by Utah. Here's Jerebko. And the Jazz, another 3.
There's a chance he could go for a big game if they don't D him up on the perimeter.
Clark kicks to Moore. Back to Clark. Dishes to Liggins. Lock at 6. To the inside. And taken away by Johnson. And now the fast break Exum with the ball. Burks' shot is good. Now just a 1-point New Orleans lead.
And that's such good work to make this a one-possession game. Terrific steal to get it all started.
And it's Moore penetrating.
And the Utah Jazz, historically, they've always been one of the better franchises in the NBA. And it was nice to see them back in the playoffs in 2017 after that 4-year rebuilding phase. It tied their longest playoff drought since the team moved to Utah.
And the first one at the line is good. And so Moore nails both of them.
And trailing here in the early going, too many careless fouls, and they're giving up a lot of trips to the line.
Jerebko kicks to Burks. Now here's Exum, guarded closer. Jerebko dishes to Johnson. Just 5 on the clock. High post shot. Pelicans with the rebound. And this Jazz organization operating in a small market, but over the years, so competitive.
Yeah, you know, and a lot of times teams want to take shortcuts to contention. The Jazz know they're not going to win the free agent bidding wars. So that creates a kind of discipline that they're looking to build from within.
Here is Udo. Burks kicks to Jerebko. Udo, the pass to Burks. Floats one, and Exum with the lay-in. Exum's got his second bucket of the game to go.
Well, you love how Dante Exum gets inside. He's got terrific touch close.
There's a good screen. Diallo, he got it up that time, but it wouldn't fall for him. And still a close game as the first quarter comes to a close. New Orleans on top. They're up by 1. Live from Vivint Smart Home Arena, you're watching 2K Sports. So far, it's been a closely contested game as we get the second quarter up and going. And before we move on, what do you guys think about what we've seen so far from New Orleans?
Hustling on that offensive glass, that's led to a number of second chance points.
I don't think the defense has been very good. And right now, they're letting them pounce all over them and get second chance opportunities.
Utah trailing here. Exum and Burks, they're back there. Jonas Jerebko out there with Hood, and it's Udo in at the pivot spot, manning the middle. That's the group for Utah getting going here in the second.
Yeah, that was the third straight high percentage look the defense has allowed. The defenders have got to start putting bodies on bodies.
Here's Liggins after Udo's basket. Here's Ajinça, and the rejection by Udo. In transition, here come the Jazz. Here's Hood. And a big bounce off the rim, but it sinks right in. And the Jazz lead by 3.
Not easy to defend the height and size that Rodney Hood brings to the 2-guard position. The rise and fire in the face of pretty good defense.
And let's catch up with our sideline reporter, David Aldridge.
Well, guys, the Pelicans do have their challenges, but Anthony Davis remains committed to winning in New Orleans. He said, "I love it here. I don't plan on leaving. Yes, I fit into that old school category where I want to try to win where I start my career. That's always been a goal of mine. My goal is to bring a championship here." Devin?
And David, loyalty does go a long way. Davis is a perfect guy to build your team around. He wants to win. And here is Moore after Dante Exum hitting the 3. And Moore kicks to Diallo. Marvelous lead pass, and he throws it down.
And he's an automatic finisher when he gets into that area.
He is, and he picks the simple one-hand stuff to get the 2 points. Now, here's Exum. He has 7. It's stolen by Ajinça. Here's Liggins. He goes up again, Diallo, and he finishes nicely on the layup.
Defensive rebounding, just such a crucial part of the game.
I'll tell you, if you don't box out well, expect to get burned. You can't afford to give them second chance opportunities.
Hood dishes to Urebko. Exum passes to Udo. Urebko kicks to Exum. 6 on the shot clock. Pass to Moore. There's the feed to Clark. And that misses. That would have put him up.
Boy, I'll tell you, still looking for that first 3 of the second quarter. He had one to open this game in the first.
As we get a break in the action, let's take a peek at the leading defenses. The Jazz, number 1.
You know, allowing the fewest points per game in the entire league. Their defense has been dominant. Tremendous scheming by the coaches. The players are skilled. They're motivated. This is a very tough bunch to score on.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
The first one falls. Doris, some players, no matter how hard they try, can't make free throws in games. You spent a lot of your playing time at the line, playing guard for Providence. Why do you think this mental block is there for some players?
It's amazing the power of the mind relative to sports performance, right, Kevin?
Yes.
Because I do believe very often this can be much more about the mental than the physical side of it. Think back to Shaquille O'Neal, Dwight Howard, guys who are physically massive, and they say the size of their hand impacts their ability to shoot it. But to me, there is no question about it that sometimes it's just you're afraid. It's like the yips in golf. You just can't figure it out. And it becomes a scary place to be, standing alone on the free throw line.
Good comparison. For New Orleans, they have been coming through at the charity stripe. They've made 7 of their 8 attempts.
And their success rate on the season, right around 77%.
Ricky Rubio checked in for Exum. And it's tied up with that one. And the New Orleans Pelicans last season with one of the worst offensive rebounding percentages in history.
Yeah, I mean, it improved somewhat with DeMarcus Cousins coming in. But I think really it's the team's philosophy, though. They value getting back in transition more than they value a chance to attack that offensive glass.
And Rubio kicks to Favors. Missile on the play. Bucket's good. He'll go to the line.
I'll tell you, solid concentration from the big man. Derek Favors fights through the contact thanks to all of that strength in his upper body. Well, Derek Favors has always gotten a lot of credit for his defensive abilities, but to me, his offense has come such a long way since he came out of Georgia Tech.
Mind the lanes. Mind the lanes. 1 shot.
And that one falls for Favors. And Favors, a good post threat. Doris, he can hit that hook shot with either hand.
And the footwork serves him well in the pick and roll. Even when the help is there, this guy can maneuver and create his own shot around the rim.
Screen by Cousins. Rondo passes to Cousins. Gobert with the block.
And the remarkable reach of the stifled tower. Gobert twice on the pipes.
Rubio dishes to Favors. Shoots over Mirotic. The second effort. And Rondo sends it back. And it's Mirotic at the elbow. And now Utah, fast break. Rubio's got the ball. Good on the shot. And the Jazz lead by 5.
Now this is the pace that Rubio loves. Fast and furious.
And Holiday kicks to Davis, and it's Davis with the jam.
Oh, and he went for the two-hander on the slam using some muscle.
Some urgency from him there, sure. Utah's gone 3 of 4 from long range in the game. Pass to Gobert. Here's Mitchell. 8 points for him. Back to Gobert. Shoots over Cousins. Gobert can't hit. Pelicans trail by 3. Rondo passes to Davis. The kick out to Holiday, and it's going to be a 3-second call.
And checking out some numbers for Gobert. He's been fantastic over the last 10 games or so. 4th in rebounding, 10th in steals, and he's also ranked in the top 10 in blocks per game. No trespassing when he's in the lane.
And he's so explosive, so hungry. You really can't keep him off the glass when he wants to get there. That's why he's top 5 in rebounding. But he stays with it to the middle. And Derek Favors with the slam.
Oh, you love to see Favors get high for the slam. What an impressive vertical with that size.
And Holiday kicks to Davis. Hood against Mirotic. Hood can't get it to go.
And you can see the defenders afraid to kind of get in his way a lot of times when he's on his way to the basket. But on that one, they were there.
Gobert with the block. And now Utah, fast break. And it's Mitchell missing. Pelicans trail by 5. Here's Holiday. Rebound, Utah. Gobert's got his 5th rebound in this one. Here's Hood. Takes the 12-footer and hits. Hood's got 4 points this quarter.
Well, don't underestimate the in-between game of Rodney Hood. This guy can make shots from just about anywhere.
Here's Holiday. Basket is good. The assist from Rondo. 12 points for Drew Holiday.
And they keep hammering away at him inside, forcing the ball into the paint.
And Favors kicks to Mitchell. Back to Favors. Rubio against Rondo. Rubio dishes to Hood. They get it back.
And Kevin, they've dialed up their activity this quarter. We're seeing them convert a lot of those second chance opportunities.
Jazz passing it around. Mitchell's shot is good.
Wow, able to survey over the top of defenses as well as squeeze into tight quarters. Rubio is the consummate playmaker.
Now a timeout called by New Orleans. You look at Rudy Gobert. Do you see him in the mold of, say, Doris Tyson Chandler?
I think the Stifle Tower has got a bigger upside. Both of those guys are 7'2", who can impact the game with defense, rebounding, shot blocking, and finishing around the rim. Both with great mobility. So I do see the comparison.
Johnson, he's checked in for the Jazz. And Mirotic has it in the corner. Cousins with a screen on Johnson. Here's Mirotic. That shot, no good. So Utah will take it the other way. The Wizards on the road to face them after this game. And that game is the second of 2 straight at home.
That's nice technique on the glass. You know, you leverage your position and your size to pull that in.
From 12 feet out. The second chance effort. Gobert with the block. And the foul called on DeMarcus Cousins. That'll be his second foul of the game. Jazz leading by 10. Now Johnson. Here's the floater.
Just has lost the feel in terms of scoring here in the second quarter.
Absolute power from Rudy Gobert. Terrific, out-muscling the defense.
Doris, we have so many bigs that are playmakers, even though their position doesn't say they really should fall in that category. But we do have a lot of guys that can pass, that have size and operate down low. Who, in your opinion, tend to be some of those names under the radar?
Well, I go to Marc Gasol, who is an all-star center in the NBA. But what his value is, he's increasingly become comfortable with a guy who they want to take 15 to 20 shots a game. But the beauty of Marc Gasol is the unselfish nature of his game. You can stick Marc at the elbow, enter the ball through him, and you know something good is going to happen. He's going to make the right pass. He's going to lead to the pass that leads to the pass that leads to the score, or he can get his own offense. I think for me, maybe the under-radar guy in terms of playmaking have to be Marc Gasol.
Now here is Davis. He picked up 30 points in their last win against Minnesota.
He was active all night on the defensive end as well. With all the steals he came away with, he had them totally rattled.
Here's Rubio following the basket by Anthony Davis. And play stops. Whistle on what looks to be an illegal screen.
Yeah, still moving a little bit when he set that screen. He'll argue that he was set, but I really didn't think so.
No, I didn't either. I thought his feet were moving. It was close, but he was still sliding in just a bit.
And it's Rondo in the corner. Oh, and he pucks it off the glass. Wow. Here's Mitchell. That shot missing. Excellent D there from Holiday. Stolen by Mitchell. Now the pass to Favors. Gobert the screen. And Rubio kicks to Johnson. And stolen by Mirotic. Rondo drives in. Good D by Rubio. Jazz leading by 11. Johnson, a wide open look. Another miss by Utah.
On a pretty good day for them so far, his shooting has been one of the tough spots.
Here's Rondo. Good. And it's Cousins picking up the assist. That's 7 points for Rajon Rondo.
And every now and then, Rondo will surprise you with the occasional triple, showing it off there with range.
Mirotic the pass to Davis. And he's fouled pretty hard on that shot, but he's got the chance to pick up the points at the line. Craig, from his one-and-done season at Kentucky, leading college basketball in block shots. We knew Anthony Davis could dominate defensively, but did you have any idea he'd be this good offensively?
None. I mean, with his length and athleticism, you knew he'd have an impact as a finisher. But the way his shooting has developed, it has been remarkable. Now, granted, this was a guy that at one point was recruited to play point guard coming out of high school, but he's playing more like a shooting guard with his skill set.
The first free throw is good. Clark, he's checked in for the Pelicans. That one misses.
Yeah, and the Pelicans, after making the playoffs in 2015, had some high expectations with superstar Anthony Davis, but last year was a bit of a disappointment, and it forced them to kind of pull the trigger and go out and land DeMarcus Cousins. So their fortunes now, I think, are going to be held by those two anchors on the front line.
They're fortunate to be in front, given how shaky he's been from the floor tonight.
Holiday gets the bucket, and Utah has possession. 13 points was their biggest lead in the game. And Rubio kicks to Gobert. On the wing, Johnson, covered by Mirotic. He took good advantage of that screen. Johnson's got 5. Greg, what would you say is the key for the Pelicans to get back in the playoff mix?
There's several. I think rebounding was a big problem. The trade for Cousins should help in that area, and every team needs more shooting. But I think in particular, this group does. And then first and foremost, look, you got to stay healthy. Hard to figure out what you have when you never get a chance to see it.
Here's Davis. After Joe Johnson's score, Gobert with the block.
Just can't find a shot. It's no wonder they're losing. I mean, he's been completely scoreless all night.
Holiday with the block. Here's Mirotic, and that basket is going to count. Goaltending, the official call.
Yeah, that's a tough call for the ref to make there. I'm not sure it was on the way down, but that's how they saw it. And when Mirotic first came over to the NBA, he made a big splash, showed that he can act as that stretch four and contribute. Unfortunately, he just hasn't evolved as a player since that rookie year.
Here's what Utah's going with right now. Udo's checked in for Gobert. Urebko comes in for Derek Favors. Alec Burks checked in for Mitchell, and it's Exum in for Ricky Rubio. That one misses for Mirotic. The Jazz shooting their 6th and 7th free throws in the game.
2.
That's good from Yarebko. Each one more. He's checked in for Mirotic. Yarebko hits them both.
And they're really getting more points at the free throw line here in the second quarter.
Here's Clark. Moore passes to Diallo. And it's Moore penetrating. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here. And about halfway through the season, some teams at the bottom, Doris, they're struggling. So my question to you is, at what point do you suddenly realize, wow, we are truly in rebuild mode?
Well, this is a fascinating part of the NBA at this point. A lot of discussion about super teams, a lot of discussion amongst general managers that we're playing for second. Is that something we want to do? And I think this is an issue the NBA and the collective bargaining agreement is going to have to address long term. There was no cap smoothing, and therefore there was that great influx of money that contributed to the super teams. Can the collective bargaining agreement between the league and the players in the long run afford us some measure of balance in the NBA? It's important, I think, that each organization believe if they're managed correctly, they have a chance for a championship.
So he hits 1 of 2 from the stripe.
Well, without great floor spacing, the Jazz have to work harder than most teams to find quality shots. They're very patient and methodical running their offense.
Now, here's Exum. 8 points for him. Shot clock at 5. Shoots from 14. Yep, that one goes in there. Exum's got 6 here in this quarter.
Well, the rise up and fire from Dante Exum, something he needs to do if the defense gives him space.
And it's Moore penetrating. Utah with the rebound. 13 points was their biggest lead in the game. And the Jazz run a half-court offense. A lot of cuts and screens to create their shots.
Well, they are right near the top in what we call screen assists. Shots created off a screen. Ironically, not a ton of regular assists, despite all the passing required in their offense.
Now, here's Exum. He's got 10. Burks dishes to Exum. He kicks to Yarebko. Johnson against Moore. Johnson attacking. They double-team Johnson. Can't get it to fall.
He's fighting it in this quarter. Hasn't been able to get into any sort of groove.
Clark kicks to Moore. Connects from three-point range. Moore's got it back down to a single-digit deficit for New Orleans. There's 18 seconds left now here in the second. Johnson, the pass to Udo. Here's Burks. Udo kicks to Exum. A three-pointer off the mark. Clark for 3. And so it's the Utah Jazz heading to the bench with a 7-point lead as we wrap up the quarter. They've set the tone. They love their tempo. They're going to be very tough to stop. It's time now to go courtside as we send you over to David Aldridge from the sideline. David, take it away.
Kevin, thanks. Joined by Coach Quinn Snyder. Quinn, your team is competing at a very high level. What do you think that's happening?
Well, we're trying to defend, and we've been a little bit fortunate too. They missed some shots, but more than anything, we just want to try to guard and make it hard on them.
Got to make them feel you. Thanks, Quinn. Back to you, Kevin.
Thanks, David. And we'll be back shortly following halftime to get the third quarter underway.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Ernie Johnson here. Got Shaq, got Kenny the Jet Smith. We welcome you back to the halftime show on 2K Sports. Utah found themselves in a close game in the first. Their field goal percentage was a robust 50% in the period. That's something they can hang their hat on. They stepped up their game in the second quarter, and the score began to tilt in their favor. It's now a 7-point lead for them here at the half. And Shaq, what did you think about what we saw from Utah?
What stood out to me more than anything else was how hard they got after it on the offensive glass. They were keeping possessions alive and converting those rebounds into points. Take away those extra points, they're not in this position, Ernie.
Kenny, let's get your opinion on New Orleans.
To me, they looked out of sync shooting the basketball. Under 40% for the first half. Some of it was poor shot selection, but mostly it just looked like they were out of rhythm. For the second half, they need to push more for buckets in transition. Get to the foul line a little bit more. Try to get back in the flow.
And we're just about ready for the start of the third quarter. Kevin Harlan standing by. We'll see you.
Welcome back, everyone, to Salt Lake City, Utah. That's the state capital right here in Utah. Really a sight to see when you get that kind of perspective from above. And the second half about to start here in just a few moments. An exceptional performance from Drew Holiday.
And through the first two periods, it seemed he got to the paint whenever he wanted to. Just a slasher's mentality.
You know, my favorite thing, Greg, I think he showed no fear in attacking the defense. He got on the interior with ease.
Utah leading by 7. Third quarter action getting rolling right now, brought to you by Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. Here's who's on the floor. So for New Orleans right now, the bigs inside, Davis and Cousins. Holiday out there with Rajon Rondo, and it's Mirotic in at the 3. Here is Rondo, following the score by Rodney Hood. Holiday, no one around him. No good on the 3. Utah's gotten fewer than half of their three-pointers to go down tonight. They're 4 for 9. Second shot opportunity, and it's good on the way in. And it's 9 points for Rudy Gobert.
Boy, I love to see Rudy Gobert score despite the contact. This guy is showing off some big-time strength right now.
Over in the corner, Cousins. Back to Rondo. They set the screen. And 2 shots coming up at the line as he gets fouled on the shot. And the foul goes against Utah. The Pelicans have made 10 of their 14 tries at the free throw line in the game.
Two shots.
First one falls for him. And Rondo drops them both. And a major renovation completed by the Jazz at the team's expense, over $110 million, Doris, to bring this 25-year-old facility up to date.
Well, everyone will benefit, right? New locker rooms for the players, better seating and suites for the fans, a new outdoor atrium that includes a solar roof. Even those who can't get into the game benefit. Large screens will broadcast the game to fans who are in the outdoor plaza. How cool is that?
Now here's Rondo. Gobert with the block. Rubio outside. Kicks it to Hood. Over Mirotic. That one rolling around and rims out. Pelicans trail by 9. Passes to Rondo. Back to Cousins. Gobert with the block. Feeds to Mirotic. And the Pelicans miss again.
Boy, they can't buy one right now. 0 for 4 to start the second half.
For New Orleans, they've gone 0 of 4 from the field in the second half, yet to find the mark. Here's Cousins. Gobert with the block.
Ouch. 5 shots without a make. That's a really ragged start coming out of halftime.
And it's Mitchell missing.
Well, you see the struggles he's having getting anything to go.
Yeah, I mean, he's obviously cold right now, but he's trying to find that rhythm. You've got to keep working. I'll tell you, good things always come when you've got players who work hard for second chance opportunities.
Hood, a screen on Mirotic. Davis against Favors. Back to Hood. They set the pick. Shot clock at 6. Down low. Here's Favors, and there's the call by the official. They'll count the basket here following the goaltending call.
So close to getting the block there. You can live with those calls because you'd rather have a guy playing aggressive instead of playing it safe.
Pelicans trail by 9. And Holiday kicks to Rondo. He dishes it to Cousins. And stolen by Favors. Rubio against Rondo. And Rubio kicks to Gobert. Gobert the screen. Rubio outside. Floats one up. And Davis pulls it down. Davis has got double-digit rebounds now in the game. Mirotic outside for Davis. Here's Mirotic, and he gets contact and the whistle on the shot. 2 shots coming up. And the foul goes against Utah. And this is his second trip to the line tonight.
Numbers this year at the line below 70, so when he's getting to the line, not nearly as effective as you'd like.
Two shots.
And he makes the first. And so Mirotic nails both of them.
Wow, they've made every free throw here in the second half.
Mitchell kicks to Favors. He feeds it to Rubio. Favors with the screen. Gobert down low. He's guarded by Cousins. Unloads. And misses it off the right side of the rim. Pelicans trail by 7. To the middle. Gobert with the block. Shoots. Another miss by Utah. Cousins inside. Gobert on him. Gobert with the block.
He's obviously still trying to find the range. No success this quarter. You wonder what it would take to get him to pass the ball.
Yeah, good interior D there prevents the deuce.
Well, if he wasn't there, that shot's going in. Love the effort on the defensive end.
Jazz leading by 7. Mitchell kicks to Rubio. Softly drops in the floater. Rubio's got his second bucket of the game to go.
Oh, you have to appreciate Rubio's creativity. Floats that one in.
And the thing that really sticks out when you look at Derek Favors, his defensive versatility. You know, he can guard the 4s or the 5s on the inside or out. And to have a player like that allows your team to excel.
Here's Mirotic. It's blocked. They get it back. And the shot clock expires. 24-second violation.
That is just a careless turnover. You've got to be smarter in those exchanges.
Jazz shooting the ball at 42%. And despite Favors' size and strength, he really moves his feet well.
And that's tremendously valuable in today's NBA. The ability to stay in front of smaller men and switches and pick and rolls. He has terrific lateral mobility.
Here's Mitchell. He's got 11 over Holiday, and so he earns a trip to the line. Official saw the contact, and he'll shoot 2. That one is on Holiday. The Jazz have missed 2 free throws in the game, going 5 for 7. Free throw drops for Mitchell. So for the Pelicans, Diallo, he's checked in for Cousins. And it's DeAndre Liggins in for Mirotic. Good on both. Timeout called here. The Pelicans decide to talk it over.
And his guys are getting frustrated. Coach just really kind of needs to calm them down.
I think, Greg, they've got to continue to believe that the next shot is going to go in. He can hopefully communicate that effectively to them.
And the Jazz have been one of the more old-school franchises. Pounded inside, grind out victories. They're still a tough defensive team, but Doris, Coach Quinn Snyder is receptive to a wide-open style of play.
Right. Quinn wants them to play with pace, look for easy opportunities. He also likes power forwards who can stretch the floor. He understands that's the way the league is going, and he's on board with it.
Now here's Rondo. 9 points in the game so far. Here's Holiday. And again, no good by New Orleans. Jazz leading by 11. Here's Mitchell. Fouled in the act of shooting. A three-point play chance coming up.
Yeah, how about that one? Able to maintain control and finish the play.
He's gone 2 for 2 at the line so far.
And 74%, yeah, you know, so-so. He probably wouldn't mind seeing it a little bit higher.
Yarebko's checked in for Utah. Dante Exum comes in for Ricky Rubio. Ejuan Moore, he's checked in for New Orleans. Pelicans trail by 14. Right side, Rondo. Here's Diallo. Back to Rondo. Will it go? And the layup is good. Rondo's got 11 points.
If he's one thing, he's efficient in the paint. Rondo really good with the positioning there close to the basket.
Exum kicks to Yarebko. To the middle. Here's Gobert, the offensive rebound. Persistence pays off as they finally hit a shot. Gobert's got the lead up to 14 now for Utah. Davis sets a screen. And it's Rondo in the corner. Pass to Diallo. The dish now to Liggins. Got a piece of it, and they'll keep possession. And it's Davis missing. Utah leading by 14. Outside Hood. This is to Mitchell. Here's Moore. It's deflected. And now Utah, fast break. 17-foot shot on the way. And it's Mitchell missing. Pelicans trail by 14. Rondo kicks to Liggins. Davis with a screen on Hood. To the inside. That's good from Davis on the assist by Liggins. And that's now 9 points for Anthony Davis.
And he's really shot the ball well, but it hasn't been contagious.
Gobert the screen. Hood kicks to Gobert. Outside Hood, down to 5 on the shot clock. And Rodney Hood played 1 season at Mississippi State, then transferred, played another season at Duke. A good floor spacer, Greg, at 6'8".
You know, it's his in-between game that impresses me. Able to beat his man off the dribble. He can hit that little pull-up or drop it off to a teammate. This guy continues to improve.
First free throw is good. And Rodney Hood selected with the 23rd pick in the 2014 draft by Utah. What a great pickup for the Jazz. Wow.
Well, we're talking about a 6'8" shooting guard with a high skill level. And when Rodney Hood is aggressive and confident, he can be a major impact player in the league.
Here's what Utah's going with right now. Udo's checked in for Rudy Gobert, and Alec Burks subbed in for Mitchell.
And if they continue, Kevin, their outstanding free throw shooting, that'll help them seal the deal.
Pass to Diallo. Moore against Burks. Moore passes to Diallo. Over Jerebko, and he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws now for him. And a look here at the shot chart for Utah.
And as this chart shows, things just aren't falling for him like they usually do. He isn't ice cold, but nothing is falling his way, and he's become an inefficient source of points for his team.
Shooting 2.
He's off on the first. And the Jazz making a change here. Johnson's checked in. And he's good on the second. Jazz leading by 13. Exum with it. 10 points for him. They set the pick. The feed to Jerebko. Clock at 6. Here's Johnson. Another miss by Utah.
Yeah, awkward shot there. I mean, creative on the leaner, but the D just made it too difficult for him to convert.
Now a timeout called by New Orleans.
There are 2 things, guys, as you know, that age gracefully in the NBA, and that's size and shooting. No coincidence that Joe Johnson remains a very effective player, even as he enters his mid-30s.
Let's bring up the 2K leaderboard and see which teams made the most of their opportunities on the offensive glass this month. The 4th spot held by the Jazz.
They have been aggressive underneath. I mean, they're playing with a physicality that you don't often see, and it's led to a lot of second chance points.
So the whistle blows on the shot, and 2 free throws for the contact right there. And in his 16th NBA season, Joe Johnson, Doris, experiencing life as a reserve for the first time.
And what a luxury, bringing a player of his caliber off the bench. This guy's so well-rounded. We know he's a great shooter, but he's willing to defend, to rebound, and he can make quality passes. So much to like about this guy's game.
Shooting 2.
And the first one drops.
Yeah, and the work they've done at the line has been impressive here in the second half.
And so Moore nails both of them. Doris, one result of the new CBA minimum contracts increasing 45%. That's a big help to the NBA's working class, I think.
Well, I don't think there's any question that you see increasingly role players, someone like Draymond Green, whose value has not necessarily translated in terms of points per game, but his value to winning can't be calculated. And you're right. You know, you see important role players and guys below the superstar level increasingly becoming better compensated. And hey, listen, there's more of the pie to go around. Who doesn't enjoy a little more cherry pie, Kev?
Yeah, good thoughts. Good thoughts.
Really nice job inside that time. The defense unable to react quick enough to stop him. Boy, he is fast.
Jerebko dishes to Johnson. Udo kicks to Exum. Kicks it out to Johnson. Jacks up a three. And Johnson missing again. Pelicans trail by 9. Liggins the pass to Ajinça. Here's Diallo. He has 7.
And they had some botched coverage that turned into no coverage.
And that's a foul called an Alexis Ajinça. That'll be his 2nd foul of the game. Utah leading by 9. Exum dishes to Udo. Moore against Burks. Shot to end this cold run.
Yeah, still struggling to find the bottom of the net from three-point range this half. They were much better in the first.
Clark kicks to Moore. Here's Clark. Burks covering. And with that, the Utah lead is cut down now to just 7 on the basket from Clark.
They are just killing them on the interior.
Now, here's Exum. He's tightly guarded. And Liggins kicks to Clark. A three-pointer off the mark.
Just not much success when it comes to shooting.
And that one drops. And 12 points for Dante Exum.
Well, Burke showing he's more than just a scorer. Terrific pass to his teammate.
Now the pass to Liggins. To the wing on the left. Here's Moore. And the rejection by Udo. Here's Ajinça. Burks pulls it in.
Well, that's tough defense in the paint. Harassing him every step of the way.
And it hung on the rim, but wouldn't fall for him. Moore passes to Ajinça. Throws down the alley-oop slam.
And hard to decide which was better, the pass, the catch, or the slam.
Oh, there's no wrong answer. Sensational alley-oop. Great way to see the alley-oop. That replay courtesy of Under Armour. Another Unleash Chaos moment.
I'll tell you, somebody on the defensive end has got to step in and try to get a body on him there.
They set the pick. Here's Liggins. From outside, off the mark. And so it's the Utah Jazz ahead by 9 as the quarter comes to a close. They're playing a bruising game inside, and it's working for them. Right back after this break. Let's take a listen now to Alvin Gentry.
Forget about the score and let's compete. Just compete. That's all. Not that hard to do now.
Without worrying about what's led up to this point, Alvin Gentry trying to refocus his players' efforts.
Yeah, I mean, dwelling on the point differential at this point isn't going to fix anything. But all 5 guys giving maximum effort, that might be a cure-all for a whole lot.
3 quarters in the books, folks. Glad to have you with us. Welcome back as we get going. Udo out there with Jerebko. Then there's Johnson. Then it's Ricky Rubio. And it's Burks in at the 2-guard spot. That's the group right now for Utah. And a foul called on the shot. Got him on the way up that time, so he'll shoot 2 right here.
And I like the fact that the defense is looking to protect the rim at all costs.
No good on the free throw. Derek Favors checked in for Jerebko. He hits the second from the line.
Yeah, and their free throw shooting has really improved here in the second half.
Here's Clark, covered by Rubio. Here's Holiday, sinks that one from the post.
And you can see there the defender gets caught up on the pick.
Well, you simply got to push through that, right? You need to at least contest the shot. Otherwise, he's going to knock it down.
Udo with the ball. He's guarded by Cousins. Kicks to Burks. Up top Favors. Rubio outside. Shot clock at 6. High post try. Bounces high off the rim and drops.
I'll tell you, the in-between game for Rubio starting to come around.
Here's Clark, covered by Rubio. Outside Holiday. Another miss by Holiday.
I'd love to see them impose themselves a little more on the backboard. That's a great way to find confidence. Always a surefire way to get back in the game.
Here's Burks. Beautiful dish, and the layup goes down. And it's a 12-point Jazz lead.
Well, you love the cleverness of Alec Burks. My goodness, how remarkable is that into the lane and finish?
Clark dishes to Holiday. Holiday with another miss.
He's cold from deep. 0 threes in the second half after hitting just 1 in the first.
Johnson kicks to Rubio. Passes it to Udo. Rubio dishes to Favors. Nice ball movement by Utah. Johnson down low. Covered by Mirotic. Johnson can't get it to go.
Oh, great effort there. That's how you defend the paint.
Well, that's just stellar interior defense. You can't ask for anything more than that.
Here's Burks. Rubio the pass to Favors. That's good. It's Rubio with the assist. Rubio's got 4 assists now tonight.
Well, Derek Favors has developed terrific form, and it's nice to see him continue to develop this mid-range.
Here's Clark. Screen by Cousins. Floats it up for Cousins. And again, no good by New Orleans.
I'll tell you, if he keeps missing shots, it's going to be a tough night to try to trim this lead.
Rubio with it. Now guarded by Mirotic. And Rubio kicks to Burks. He shoots again. And that one's good by Favors. And the Jazz lead by 16.
The edge on the glass is the difference. It's allowed them to build this lead. And didn't do anything fancy there, but didn't need to.
Nope, his only concern right now is getting the points on the board. And I don't mean style points. Utah calls timeout.
Yeah, just hitting the reset button, a chance to kind of talk some things over.
I think sometimes that's all it takes, right? We'll see if it helps them moving forward in this one.
And the Jazz with some changes. Rudy Gobert, he's checked in for Udo. Hood comes in for Joe Johnson. And it's Mitchell in for Alec Burks. New Orleans also making some changes. Davis is checked in for Alexis Ajinça. Rajon Rondo subbed in for Ian Clark. And we've got an update here, so let's check in with David Aldridge reporting from the sideline.
Hey, Kevin. Well, during the last break, I heard Quinn Snyder talking with his team. He told them, put your foot on their neck. Take it to them. I want to see you guys slow it down out there, use the clock, and stay away from silly fouls. Let's see if they can execute the plan, guys.
Thanks, David. Now here is Holiday. Following the miss by Rodney Hood. Cousins. It's good. The assist that time from Holiday. Holiday's got his 4th assist in this one. And Rubio kicks to Favors. And stolen by Cousins. Holiday attacking. And so he earns a trip to the line. Official saw the contact and he'll shoot 2.
2 shots. Foul. Elbow. 2. Shooting 2.
The first free throw is good. Both free throws good from Holiday. Utah leading by 10. Now here's Rubio. Down low. Lays it up and in off the pretty assist. Rubio's got 4 points this quarter.
They're finding lanes to the hoop now with consistency. 5 buckets in a row from the paint.
Holiday dishes to Rondo. To the inside. Here's Cousins. And again, New Orleans has no luck.
And with the success they've had rebounding the basketball, they're right where you'd expect them to be, firmly in the driver's seat.
They set the screen. Gobert the pass to Mitchell. Just 5 on the clock. Hood can't get it to go.
I'll tell you, with the struggle he has had today, he probably won't be their #1 option as they look to close this game out. After the strong first half, this guy has not been the same, and largely a no-show right here.
And now here's Rondo, the fast break opportunity. Floats it up for Davis, and the ball travels out of bounds. It was last touched by Rondo.
And that's just carelessness there. I mean, you have got to have your head in the game.
Jazz leading by 12. Down low. Here's Favors. And a slam dunk by Favors.
You know, the way Rubio moves the ball, this guy is so fun to watch.
Feeds it to Mirotic. Back to Rondo. And oh boy, a lot of contact there, but he gets the call and will shoot 2. Ricky Rubio picks one up. No good on that one. No good at the stripe this time. Second misses also. Mitchell kicks to Rubio. It's good from long range. Rubio's got 9 points now in just the second half.
What a turnaround in the second half. So much more accurate overall.
Pass to Cousins. Over Gobert. And that's an air ball. Not even close. Rubio with a wide open look. And Davis pulls it down. Davis has got rebound number 13 with that last one. Cousins dishes to Davis. Over Favors. And again, no good by New Orleans. Here's Mitchell, guarded by Holiday. And here's Rubio. Favors with the screen. Gobert with the screen on Rondo. And Rubio kicks to Favors. Here's Gobert. And it's good with time running down in the shot clock. And the Jazz lead by 19. Rondo against Rubio. And the Pelicans miss again.
And there have been some terrible shot choices here, Kev. That's not a good look at all.
Hood pulled the shot a little left, but the bounce goes his way.
They're doing a really good job of getting the ball inside and attacking the paint. That's an area they have completely dominated.
Here's Cousins. That's in there. Davis with the assist. And that's now 8 points for DeMarcus Cousins.
And with great players, you've got to pick your poison. You'll live with Cousins shooting from mid-range.
Gobert can't hit.
Just tentative in the paint, lacking a little bit of confidence, allowed the defender to recover and contest that shot.
Davis kicks to Rondo. New Orleans moving the ball around. Here's Holiday. Rondo passes to Mirotic. That 3 off the mark.
And boy, you can see his struggles from the field, and I think it's really starting to get to him.
And Rubio kicks to Favors. Mirotic against Hood. And that one clearly a foul. Gets the whistle, and 2 shots coming up. It's going to go on Nikola Mirotic.
Look, Kevin, 6'8". Rodney Hood is so effective at getting fouled on his way up. This guy's so smart.
That free throw good from Hood.
And this team will make you pay when they get chances at the free throw line. It's helped them pull ahead here today.
He doesn't get the second one. Doris, we know there's a lot of trash talking on the court. Some of it is unfriendly, some of it not so much, just kind of playing around. When do you consider comments going over the line?
Well, given that I'm not necessarily privy to exactly everything that's said, I imagine much of it not PG rated, Kevin.
No.
I would say that's an issue for the players to decide. If you step over the line, you're going to feel me in some way, shape, or form.
I don't know, though, we've ever had a time in any professional sport, but in particular the NBA, where there has been a real feeling of community among the players. I mean, I think in the olden days, there was genuine hatred, and there's some of that now, but there is really a feel like, wait, we are all in this together.
Maybe too much so. Like
too much so.
I enjoyed watching Larry Bird, who was supposed to be amongst the best trash talkers, get into the head of the player. Draymond Green is the current iteration of perhaps the best trash talker. I say, listen, let him yap a little bit. Nothing wrong with that.
He's taking Kevin Garnett's place in that regard, I think.
Yeah.
Indicative of what we've seen tonight. One team being the aggressor, the other failing to react.
Right, really a disappointing effort on the defensive end, not offering any challenge at all at the cup.
And now let's present our Jordan Player of the Game, Rudy Gobert.
And guys, it's been a rugged brand of defense he's played. I don't know why they keep taking the ball at him. It seems like every time they have, he's come up with the rejection. And with every block, he's only gotten more and more fired up.
They had not been playing very good basketball coming into this game. And that's when a team needs its star players to step up and stop the bleeding, just like he did tonight. Here's Mitchell. Back to Gobert. Outside Hood. He kicks it to Gobert. Here's Mitchell, guarded by Holiday. Hits some rim on the way in, and the bucket's good.
Crafty move. He recognizes the size disadvantage, and the mid-range is close enough.
I'll tell you, that's really clever, because it's not easy to get that mid-range off over a guy who's got a size advantage. He made it look easy.
Yeah, and last season, DeMarcus Cousins moving on in that blockbuster trade. Really impossible to get equal value for a star like Cousins, but he was pleased, I think, to put all the rumors of being traded to bed.
Mind the lane. Mind the lane. One shot.
And that one falls for DeMarcus Cousins. And with Cousins, he found out that he was being traded to the Pelicans while at the All-Star game in New Orleans.
And it's never easy fitting in with another star like the Brow, but Cousins is just so skilled that you knew they would find a balance. And at the end of the day, Cousins seems to be happy with a team who is committed to him.
Now Rondo following the three-point attempt by Rodney Hood.
Yeah, you got to respect the awareness level of Rondo. When his teammates have a clean look at the basket, the ball gets there without hesitation.
Jazz leading by 17. Rubio outside. Favors with a screen on Rondo. Rubio dishes to Gobert. Favors with the screen. And that one comes up a bit short. Pelicans trail by 17.
And this is going to end in a lopsided victory. I love the tenacity and aggressiveness, as well as the ability to close. You really got to give it up here for Utah.
Looking at both these teams, they're great rebounders, and on any given night, you might not know who would have the advantage on the boards.
They made the most of those extra rebounds as well, Kevin.
And with this effort tonight, grabbing their 8th win of the year.
And they'll take the win tonight, setting the tone in the first matchup of this 4-game season series.
The one player that really stands out, of course, in this one, it was a dazzling game for Rudy Gobert.
There isn't much else you want from someone. He gave it his all and was rewarded with a triple-double.
And the Jazz making a change here. Udo's checked in, and a change for the Pelicans. Ajince is checked in. Now Exum. He dishes it to Udo. 43 seconds left in the 4th quarter of this one. Exum passes to Udo. Goes up on the wing. That one, no good. Now New Orleans will take it the other way. Here's Clark. Here's Moore. Got it. Good job in the low post. 23 seconds left in the 4th quarter. And they can just let the clock run out here.
Cannot argue with the W.
Now here's Exum. D right on him. And so it's Utah easily grabbing the win. They won this game going away. They were the better basketball team by far tonight.
And you got to commend this sort of dominance, particularly here at home. It's a great feeling when you play almost a perfect game and to have that crowd be so pumped up.
And a chance now to send it over to David Aldridge, standing by courtside. David.
Thank you, Kevin. With Dante Exum, congrats on the win. And it was a great outing for you personally.
Yeah, like we said, we tried to come out and push the tempo, and we did that tonight. And I think we took a step in defense tonight. So, yeah, we just go from there.
All came together for a great win. Thanks, Dante. Back to you, Kevin.
All right, David, thank you. And that's going to do it tonight, folks, for our broadcast. For Greg Anthony, Doris Burke, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan along with our terrific 2K Sports crew, thanking you for tuning in. So long and good night, everyone.